Is there other stuff you would like to mention?
Well, regarding safety policies, I mean, it's great that they have thought of the kids' safety and they've taken policies and processes into consideration to safeguard. Um, but I still have concerns, um, aside from it fundamentally being wrong to have boys and girls using the same bathroom. Why are we putting these boys and girls in the same bathroom together? Why are we taking that risk? This is not an intelligent risk, um, in my opinion.
Let's talk about how, in your situation, when you don't agree with something, how you're pretty much forced into doing it. You know, because of cost or because of transportation, stuff like that. It's really kind of, how many other parents out there kind of share that same problem, because it's a problem.
Yeah, there's for your belief structure. I'm not the only one. I um I talk with other parents and I'm not the only one. I'm not alone in my struggle of not having different options available. Believe me, if I had the option, I would pull my kids out immediately. I have taken actions to reduce their time there the best that I can. Yeah. And they're almost old enough that they won't need to go there. But we're not quite there yet. They are members. Um,
And other parents are also struggling with this.
they are. So there's another parent whose child is very little, about 6-ish. Um, and they are so mortified by the bathroom situation. They won't use the bathroom there. They'll go before they leave school. They're horribly uncomfortable, and the mother is just tearing herself apart because she doesn't have another option, and she feels like she's failing her child, and she's not. So, for me personally, I've reached out to the club, didn't get a response from the board. There's a petition going around. I signed the petition. I left a comment on the petition. And I'm sharing the petition. Um, there have been flyers made up to distribute around town in bulletin boards and to give to people to share around the community. And that has helped get the word out. I think the biggest issue is there's still a lot of people who don't know about the bathroom. And especially if your kids are going there, you have a right to know. You have a right to make an informed decision for your child's care. So I thought, nothing's being done about this, and I feel like I'm spinning my wheels. So I started writing our state representatives and our congressmen. And I have been receiving quite a bit of response um, in favor of changing that bathroom.
Right. You would think that an organization that accepts state funds, city funds, county funds, government funds would be held to the laws that, say, a public school would be held to.
Right.
The separation of a boys and girls bathroom. Ideologically and biologically, they are different.
Yes. So in my letters, I did bring up um, the bill that passed for the public schools in Idaho, and I did suggest that the same be considered for all youth facilities in Idaho, or at least youth facilities that receive any kind of federal funding. They partner with the school district, or if they're a nonprofit. If it's private, it's kind of a different story. But for a nonprofit, a fire can be lit under them to make changes. And I have discussed with some of our legislators about the possibility of bringing up a bill to enforce separate male and female bathrooms for children who are attending nonprofit youth facilities.
What would you like? So with that, you would like to see a change in the bathroom then?
Tell you what,
Simple construction change even, or
Yeah,
a
or
separation of the bathroom into...
ideally for me is a separate male and female bathroom. I mean, it's appalling to me that there is a male and female bathroom in the building, in the facility. The kids aren't being granted access to use. That doesn't make any sense to me. But I'm not sure I'll get an answer about why it's that way.
I asked a question about that, and they used the security cards. Every child has their key card or their ID that allows them to sit certain parts of the facility. And based on that, I was like, well, why don't they just change the door lock and say, okay, you can go to this one too if you needed to. But they said the reason why, the executive director said the reason why is because it is rented out venues, and so they have to be ADA compliant, so they do get their family, unisex, whatever, feel comfortable in that bathroom, and then also the male-female ones. But they won't allow the children to go into that part of the building by key code, by key lock. So
And I question why. What is the reasoning behind that?
I could see while they were having a venue or renting out, then keeping them from there. But
If they aren't doing any programming hours during
programming hours, so that could be a fix that they could enact for children that aren't comfortable with it. Would they rather have a child have an accident, or because they're so uncomfortable with that idea that they're allowed to be uncomfortable with it?
So I just don't understand why they're not allowing any accommodations, as there's been a lot of parents and kids who have expressed discomfort for various reasons. If we make accommodations for people who maybe they don't want to use a bathroom based on biological sex, more and more we're providing accommodations for that. But why are we doing the opposite for kids who do want to use a bathroom based on their biological sex? Because we are biologically different.
And we have the right
yes.
to want to use the bathroom separately.
Right.
Kind of makes you wonder if the children's rights aren't looked, like they don't matter. I don't know.
Well, I did bring that up in some of my discussions with our state representatives. And, I did make the point that I took this as a civil rights concern for our youth.
If at any point in time one of them wanted to use a normal bathroom, they weren't allowed to, that could be considered a civil rights violation. Being told that
No accommodations.
no accommodations for you. Which also, because I asked very specifically, what about ADA compliancy? It doesn't pertain to them because they're private, but in the rented venues, they have to be compliant. And I was like, that doesn't make sense.
Well,
so we need some
'Cause
laws
they're
to
a
change.
profit, they're kind of public and they're kind of private. It's kind of this gray area. So we need to look into that.
To go after that gray area.
Yeah.
And get some clarification on things. So hopefully what we're doing now, could help bring that clarification, help bring more people into the picture, and say something needs to be done about this.
Exactly.
What I've noticed by people talking to us is, and when it's presented, not one person so far that I know personally, my circle would agree with this. So
No.
I guess that's what it goes down to on our circles, our belief structure and our belief in family and what that means to us as Americans, or just in general. Is it being eroded away? Is this an example of it?
It seems that way to me. The undertone, yeah, absolutely.
Right down to not giving the parents or the customers the right to choose.
Not right. I would say the parents have a right to transparency. They have a right to know what's going on with their child's care. They have a right to have their own opinions. They are able to make their own informed decisions. And if they don't agree with something, they have a right to speak up about it. They have a right to petition. They have a right to petition for change to their state legislators to their community and by using their own voice. So I welcome all parents, guardians, community members, concerned citizens who have questions to ask their questions and who want to see a change made to stand up and get it changed.